January's real estate numbers are always really true revealing because they are the beginning of the year to start showing us actually what way consumer patterns in buying and selling are trending towards. If you remember in December's last market update, I had shared with you a little sneak peek of what was actually happening real time with boots on the ground in January. And I was seeing a lot of increased buyer activity real time with literally buyers contacting me. So I was really curious to see what the numbers would reflect in January's numbers. So let's jump in and take a look at what Portland's numbers reveal for the real estate market in the Portland, Oregon, and Southwest Washington metro areas for January 2026. So we have seen a huge surge in listings, pretty much 109% from December to January. That is really huge, despite the fact that that was a holiday season in December. I'm thinking that that points to more than just a seasonal trend, but we will see. Year over year, we are down 4.3%. So supply is slightly less than last year. Pending sales month over month are up 38.4%. We are at 1,708 pending sales. And for year over year, we are really right at about the same at 1,708, which is down slightly. This really tells us that demand is really staying consistent. There's no real big peaks and valleys. That the real estate market, despite headlines and what you may read, is actually pretty steady Eddie. Closed sales month over month from December were at 1,633. And for January, we are at 1,111, which is down 32%. Now, this isn't surprising because what was happening in December will reflect what is happening in January. And if activity was down in December naturally because of the holidays, then the pending closings are going to naturally also follow suit and be less as well, because the cycle of a real estate transaction is typically 30 to 45 days from offer acceptance to closing. This is really no surprise and to be expected. The median sales price went down almost 5%. So month over month in December, we were looking at a $535,000 median sales price. And in January, we are looking at a $510,000 median sales price for the Portland metro area. And year over year, it's pretty reflective of this same thing. The average sales price month over month is down again about the same 4.8%, down from 400,000 to 568,000, which again is pretty on par with the year over year stats. The days on market have upticked just a little bit from December to January 2026, with now currently 89 days on the market. So we're looking at about 3 months as an average in the Portland metro area for days on market. Average market time. We have seen a pretty big jump in inventory for the month of January to 4.3 months of inventory. So to me, I'm thinking, what's spring going to look like? If we're already seeing an increase in inventory, what are the spring numbers going to reveal? Because this is predicted that we are going to have the first real spring market of a true real estate historical cycle since pre-COVID. Now let's look at the further south region of the Polk and Marion counties, where you're getting more into the Salem, Oregon metro areas, and see if it's telling a similar story. And I think what you will find is it is. New listings month over month jumped quite significantly from 164 new listings in December to 257 new listings in January, which is up 56.7%. And year over year, we're up 16.3%. So the Willamette Valley area, Polk and Marion County areas are also showing pretty good promise as far as a stable market of consistency of homes and consumer confidence with sellers of bringing their homes to the market. Pending sales were also up almost 6% pending sales in December 25 to 181 sales for January. And year over year, again, it remained pretty consistent with the same numbers. Closed sales were down 17% to 112 closed sales in January. Again, but this is really reflecting a very typical seasonal pattern. There is no pause for concern here with the life cycle of transactions being 30 to 45 days. The median price month over month for December and for January, we are down 5.2% at 426,500. And year over year, we are remaining pretty consistent with the same numbers. The average sales price for December, and we are down just a smidge above 6% at 438,600. Inventory saw a significant climb in the Polk and Marion counties at 5.9 months of inventory for the month of January, over 3.7 months in December. Days on market are hovering around the same for December and for January, 78 days on the market. So we're seeing some consistencies between the Portland, Oregon and the Polk and Marion counties, the Salem, Oregon areas. But I'm wondering if Clark County is really singing the same tune. So let's take a look at the actual statistics and data for the Clark County area of Southwest Washington. New listings are up almost 100%. So in January, new listings to the market were 704 in the Vancouver metro market, which shows a very strong January listing release. Pending sales are up almost 50% to 565 for the month of January. And closed sales are down 32%. So month over month for closed sales in the Vancouver metro Washington area is 352 closed sales. Not a surprise that we see consistency here across all three regions with a decrease for January of closed sales. The median sales price remained pretty stable at $549,000 for the month of January. The average sales price really stayed pretty stable as well, with the average sales price being around $631,100. Inventory, again, we saw an increase, big increase at 4.1 months over December. So I'm super curious what will be the numbers for February and especially March as we peer forward into the spring months if we're having such a big jump just in January. What I'm really seeing in the market right now as I walk alongside with my clients is they're just, they are taking a little bit more time to make decisions. But what I'm seeing is there are more buyers coming to the market. And so I am starting to see real time that homes, especially in that mid 500 price point, there is a little bit of competition, but not so much if you're looking at condos or you're looking at homes that are closer to that $1 million price point. And for sellers, what I'm really advocating for is to really price your homes competitive and do what you can that's within your means to bring your home to the market to showcase it in its best light. So if you're thinking about making a move or you're just kind of wanting to get some questions answered so you know which direction to go next in your next chapter of life, then just drop me a note and let's connect and have that conversation and we'll figure out the right plan with your needs in mind.